It looks to some extent that this game bases itself not just around combat, but also around environmental traversal, and it looks very interesting to me. It's very surreal looking, very otherworldly, and aesthetically reminded me of Dark Souls a little bit. However, the gameplay does look a lot faster in pace. We did not get a release date for this title, and given the fact that it has the word Project in the name, it's probably going to be a long time. But hey, Project Athia looks cool as hell. Moving on to number 10, it's Stray. It's that cat game from the Unreal Engine dude, and it looks beyond neat to me. Like, it's something we talked about when we were talking about the Unreal Engine, and it's probably not an exclusive, but it's really neat that they showed it here. Stray is this game where you play as what seems to be a delivery cat in this post-human world occupied exclusively by robots. It's really a charming looking title, and if it manages to be fun, it's probably going to be a classic, honestly. At number 9 is Kenna Bridge of Spirits, which is a game that kind of looks like a DreamWorks cartoon if it was Breath of the Wild. The combat does look fairly distinct from Breath of the Wild, however, you can definitely tell that it is at least somewhat influenced by the Nintendo title. That being said, it's way more detailed, and it's not the only title on this list that in my opinion kind of looks like that mid-90s random PlayStation 1 aesthetic brought into a new world. I don't know exactly how intentional that is with this title because I don't think it's a PlayStation exclusive. I don't know, but it does look great, and I will be playing Kenna when it comes out, whenever that might be. And number 8 is Solar Ash, which is a game from the Hyperlight Drifter guys at Heart Machine. To me, this looks somewhere between Hyperlight Drifter and Journey, in that it gives you this very surrealistic landscape that you appear to be journeying towards the other side of. However, it also gives the impression there is going to be a lot of combat-oriented stuff in the game. Both of those games are some of my favorites from the last decade, so if I'm even vaguely right with my instincts here and it turns out good, Solar Ash is going to be a hell of a game that hits us in 2021. At number 7 is Little Devil Inside, a game that we still know relatively little about other than it's an action RPG that looks cool as hell. It's got a very distinct visual style and seems to send this samurai knight type out into various very hostile environments to complete missions. It does identify itself as a hack and slash. The Steam page for the PC version lists local co-op as a feature, which could be pretty cool, although again, we don't know exactly what this game will turn out to be. Still, we've seen a lot of varying environments with a lot of interesting enemies. My guess is that our guy is some kind of monster hunter and he's going off into the world to do that. Little Devil Inside looks great, can't wait to play it. At number 6 is Pragmata, which is a Capcom game that I don't know what to say about. I do not know if it takes place on Earth, if it takes place on the moon, if it takes place in VR. Clearly it's some kind of fake world, I'll say. But beyond that, we don't know a lot. It is intriguing though, and Capcom's kind of been on a roll lately, so I'm quite excited to see what this turns out to be. Pragmata is coming out in 2022 though, so it's going to be a while. At number 5, it's Hitman 3. I'm just totally there for Hitman 3. Hitman 1 and 2 have been phenomenal. They've really been graphical powerhouses themselves, but we have basically every reason to assume that this is in fact going to be an even bigger and better tour de force of the insane stealth franchise. The trailer hyped Agent 47's biggest contract ever, but I mean, that's not why I'm playing Hitman. I'm playing it because it's Hitman and it's wonderful. Give me more Hitman every day. Oh, I have to wait till January 2021. That sucks. At number 4 is a Demon's Souls remake. I don't know that I need to say a lot. It's basically the game that really started the Souls trend. It's obviously a little different than Dark Souls. It has a slightly goofier tone, but like very slightly goofier. I mean, I really have to emphasize slightly here, guys. However, it looks like a very beautiful total remake from the ground up of your journey towards fighting the old one. We do not have a release date for it. However, apparently there'll be 2 different graphical modes. one that favors fidelity and the other that favors frame rate. I can tell you I'll be up frame rate all the way. I can't wait to play Demon Souls, to be honest with you. I'm totally there for this. And number 3 is Gran Turismo 7, which we didn't get a massive amount of detail about. However, the gameplay footage we saw of it was absolutely beautiful. I think that it got obscured a little bit. The stream quality wasn't amazing, and there is not a 4K version of it on YouTube yet. So what I've been able to see does suffer from some fairly bad compression artifacts. However, it is safe to say that the lighting and reflections and all of the stuff that ray tracing might improve definitely look very much improved. And they also made sure everyone knew that there's a full-blown campaign. I'm there, but also I definitely want some more details, guys. It's obviously a PS5 exclusive. Sony owns Gran Turismo, but we don't know when it's hitting. At number 2 is Resident Evil 8, which was not something we expected to see today. However, hey, I'm there for it. They took a bit of a turn into the supernatural, which sounds kind of odd, but honestly, like, this trailer blew my mind. It looks great. Also, the way they revealed it was a Resident Evil game was hilarious. They showed the word village, so you're like, a game called Village, what? And then revealed the Roman numerals 8 and wrote Resident Evil under. I mean, it was, I mean, fairly humorous in my opinion. But honestly, I feel like they really started a hype train here. I'm there for every choice in the trailer. Resident Evil 8 is going to hit sometime in 2021. We'll definitely be following it closely. And finally, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, which we all honestly kind of expected. Horizon was a really big game when it came out, and it really showed hey, single player games, guys. Single player games. Yeah, single player games. And I feel like that influence was really felt throughout this entire presentation. We were given a lot of single player games. And Horizon was really a big game that sort of reminded people that they could be really good and fresh and interesting. We're continuing the story here where the United States is the new area we'll be exploring. Obviously, this is a bleak post-apocalyptic future with robot dinosaurs everywhere, and apparently there's something definitely threatening the entire world, although we don't know much about it yet. Horizon 2, definitely an exclusive, and also no release date, doesn't stop us from getting hype. We've got some bonus mentions for you as well. I mean, there were a lot of games that we saw today. First is Sackboy: A Big Adventure, which looks to be sort of rebranding the Little Big Planet franchise into kind of a Super Mario 3D Land type thing, which I'm okay with. Bring that. Looks great. Looks like fun co-op. That's an exclusive. We also saw Jet. Jet, I don't know exactly what to say about. You look like you control some kind of a rocket on various different environments. Obviously, we're going to need to hear more about this to fully understand it. It's a small game. It does look interesting, though. Then we have NBA 2K21, which is probably the only way you're going to be watching the NBA for a while. I mean, you can set up some AI matches and do that, or just play it, because NBA 2K is, of course, a fun franchise. Our man looks super sweaty, and we didn't really get any full-blown actual gameplay to make any judgments from, so it should be interesting when it hits current systems in fall 2020, and of course PS5 later in the year. A goofy-looking title called Bug Snacks by the Octodad people, where you eat various different types of bugs that are shaped like food, which makes your limbs and body become shaped like food. I don't know what to say, other than it looks trippy and fun. It's got a slightly demented sense of humor, and I like that. Goodbye Volcano Hype, which looks like a fairly artsy high school game. It's got a cool art style, looks kind of anime-ish. If you're into anthropomorphic animals and stories that appear to glorify high school alienation, this is the way to go for you. Oddworld Soulstorm is our next game. Looks like they're doing the right thing and making a 2D Abe game. I'm there for that. That's basically what I've wanted from the Oddworld inhabitants for a long time outside of the remakes. Remakes are great, might I add. And finally, for the VR folks, Astro's Playroom is making a return. I'm stoked about that, actually. Astro's Playroom is a really good platform game for VR, surprisingly good. These are all welcome pieces of news that I'm pretty stoked about. But what are you most excited for? Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, please click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week, and the best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. So click subscribe. Don't forget to enable all notifications. And as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on Game Ranks.